dearie, let's go.
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. Away. True to Caesar.
Hi.
Don't go too far now.
It is a great honor for anyone outside the Legion to get an audience with Caesar. We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the part or the skill to fix it. The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told. You can probably find a spare firing mechanism there. I'll answer if I can. And just about every one of them is occupied. Not all at the same time, usually. Groups of legionaries come and go all the time. This is also only one camp of many. You might have noticed the other camps down by the river. Very well. Wale.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
You've proven yourself to be a true friend of the Legion. We have a safe house available to our agents in the Mojave. Here's the key. It's an excellent place to rest and store extra equipment. In addition, one of our veterans, Atticus, visits the house every few days. While he's there, you can acquire items useful for stealthy operations against our enemies from him. Well done. It will be very useful in the coming battle against the snipers the NCR will no doubt have hidden in the hills near the dam. Wale.
Have you brought news of the boomers? Is that so? You are good, aren't you? If the boomers will toe the line, I can focus on other preparations. But not without first rewarding your initiative. Now, moving on. I want you to forge an alliance between Caesar's Legion and the White Glove Society. They used to be cannibals. I expect that information can be used to manipulate them. Go to...
Oh, God damn it!
Fuck this. I'm going to lie down. Come back later. Tomorrow.
Our way, true to Caesar. Our way, true to Caesar.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
The last time we met, I believe we were talking about the White Glove Society. I get headaches every once in a while, so what? Anyway, we have other matters to discuss. Have you been successful in your efforts to recruit the White Glove Society? Then get to it.
Our way, true to Caesar.
All right, dearie, let's go. Hello again, dear. Aw, Grandma will miss her little pumpkin. Are you sure? Nice children shouldn't play in places like that, dearie. That's the sort of place Leo likes. But if you insist...
Boss, are you trying to destroy my knees even faster than nature?
Well now, look what rolled in. What, you getting lonely out there? Can't be any worse than here. Let's deal. Let's deal. Caravan of two now.
See you around.
Oh, wearing this is not going to be good to me.
Talk to you soon, dear.
Ugh. Boss, are you trying to destroy my knees even faster? The nature?
Let's distribute the weight. Let's deal. Let's distribute the weight. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
Oh, wearing this is not going to be good to me.
Can't tell you how glad I am you butchered the fiends. Caravans across the wastes are gonna be buying you drinks for years. Ask them then. Jean-Baptiste. Sounds like someone got knocked out of the good book so hard his name broke. Either that, or it's Canadarian or some such shit. So who is this Baptiste, and what does he want? All right, then. Let's deal. Mojave's almost buzzing like a cazador now. Must be all the Blood Legion and NCR spilling over the Colorado. Ask them then. If you're sure. Your loss. All right. Don't be long. Robots there give me the creeps.
See you around.
All right, then.
Hello again, dear. That'd be lovely, dearie. Grandma's got a present for you. Time for medicine. Hello again, dear. Aw. Nice children shouldn't play in places like that, dearie. That's the sort of place Leo likes. But if you insist...
Well now, look what rolled in. What, you getting lonely out there? Can't be any worse than here. Let's deal. Let's deal. Let's see what you got. We're hunting shitheads.
It's hard to sleep in this place, I tell you. Last night, some girl was pounding on my door all night. Finally, I got
Beg your pardon, but could I trouble you to turn over your weapons? I'm afraid those are the rules. If you don't like it, you can take your business elsewhere. My deepest apologies for the slightest inconvenience. You have my assurance that everything will be returned upon your departure. But we simply can't have anyone waving their weapons around in the hotel. It's not the atmosphere we wish to cultivate. Please, enjoy your stay. Farewell.
You watch yourself around Mr. Gunderson.
Should have bet we killed the Fiend's leader.
Beg your pardon, stranger, but I'm looking for someone. You ain't seen a young man with dark brown hair and a white hat on lately, have you? Ain't nobody got one darn piece of news about my boy. Not one lousy speck of information. Ain't got one Brahmin unaccounted for across a dozen ranches. But I'm here for an hour and my own son just up and disappears on me. Made me a special arrangement with the hotel. They want to do business with me, they got to play by my rules. A lot of people out there resent success. Might want to take a swipe at me. This makes them think twice. If I'd have been thinking, though, I'd have had him watching my boy instead. Then none of this would have happened. My boy, Ted, he was right here. I didn't leave him but a minute. I told him to stay put while I talked some things over with the White Glove folks. He was never one to stay tied down to a spot, though. Gets that from his mother. Got most of my staff out looking for him now. I'd be out myself, but I keep hoping he'll show up back here. Of course, if he does that, I'll whoop him till his skinny hide turns to leather for putting me through this. But that don't mean I wouldn't be grateful. That's between me and the White Glove Society. But let's just say they control the food supply around here, and I got lots of food to give. But that ain't as welcome as you might think. I'd be more than happy to have you. Heck, I'll hire anybody with a pair of legs and at least one good eye at this point. There'd be a lot of money in it for you if you can get him back to me safe. And if he ain't, you can bet I'll pay for the names of the sons of bitches responsible. That's what they call themselves, the folk that run this place. They're the ones dressed all fancy with their bow ties and shiny dresses. Some of them got masks, too. Real hard to trust folks like that. Couple of them show their faces, and that's who I do my business with. I don't talk to none of the other ones. I'll be here.
Salutation. Humbly at your service. A pleasure doing business. Humbly at your service. A pleasure doing business.
Only brought bad luck.
How may I be of service, sir? Ah, yes. I've heard that one too. Jealous people say such nasty things. I feel sorry for them. Good. and you know what it is to be discreet in matters of nutrition. Perhaps you can help me. I'm in a bind. I've been planning an exquisite society dinner, but there's a bit of a problem with the main course. He's got a powerful and temperamental father. Yes, the wrong person. We scouted the right one for weeks. The heir to a mercantile empire, sort of a black sheep. He cut ties with his family and left their estate to wander. He was ideal, corn-fed and well-to-do, but no one to miss him if he were to disappear. Unfortunately, the trap my subordinates set for him failed, and as he escaped, he saw their faces. Now he's wary. I asked for a last-minute replacement, and they stole the son of the most dangerous Brahmin baron in New Vegas while he stayed at this very hotel. Needless to say, this could be a disaster if things aren't put back the way they should be, and I still need somebody reputable to serve for dinner. Strictly speaking, we're no longer allowed to eat people, but I'm hoping the right person and preparation might sway Marjorie to see things my way. I need a replacement, and I need the boy taken care of. The replacement must be healthy and well-bred. One can't very well make steak from gristle. With so little time, we'll have to go after our original choice, Carlisle St. Clair. He lives in a shack north of here. For freshness, we need him alive. If you could send him here or knock him out with this, and drag him into the dumpster next to his house, we can do the rest. Ted Gunderson is his name. It would be simplest if we could convince him this was all an unfortunate misunderstanding. But if he won't listen, we can't very well let him go. He'll have to be slaughtered and served. Then we wouldn't need the replacement. But you would need to deal with his father, Heck. Perhaps if you could smear some of Ted's blood around his father's hotel room, you could frame him. No. Everyone he meets, he tells the same story. That his son disappeared from the casino, not from his room. He'll look guilty. My, such a popular question. I suppose it is only natural to see us and wonder what it is that makes us special. The White Glove Society has only just made itself known to the public, of course, but our pedigree was established over generations. Were we always so refined? I'd be lying if I said yes. But I've always felt we were destined for a place atop modern society. And now, here we are. Not everyone can wear the finest clothes and eat the finest foods, obviously. That's just the reality we live in. But surely we can agree that the most tasteful, sophisticated people are the most deserving. And that's what the White Glove Society is all about. Splendid, splendid. The boy is being held in the kitchen beneath the gourmand. Here are some keys that will allow you access to him. The elder Gunderson is staying in our penthouse. I understand he's hired security, so be careful if you go up there. And our Mr. St. Clair resides to the north. He rarely strays far from his house, and he's surrounded it with booby traps. Indeed.
Those Legion elite troops are bad blood.
Our rangers are gonna show...
Welcome to the Ultralux. I do hope it exceeds your every expectation. Tell your ruler we have no interest in such ties. Caesar's Legion is a collection of unclean barbarians. Anytime the White Glove Society is mentioned in the same breath, it sullies our good name. As much as Mortimer and some of the other members have tried to convince me otherwise, I will not have us seen as savages. What else? Mr. Gunderson and I have been discussing his livestock. It's put us in a rather delicate position, you see, his coming here. Not that we aren't grateful for his generous offer. But our executive chef, Philippe, has transformed Brahmin steak into a delicacy. He really is a genius. Everyone wants it. But a delicacy is just that, delicate. If everyone can get it, it ceases to be a delicacy. It becomes a perfectly ordinary staple. And if the gourmand served staples, it would no longer draw the caliber of people it deserves. It would be a diner or a family restaurant. So as much as we'd all love for there to be enough steak for everyone, I'm afraid there are more important things to consider. Ta-ta.
Good day. How may I be of service, sir? Looking to elevate his social status, is he? I'll admit, I could see benefits to living under his rule, certain transgressions he'd be willing to overlook. But that's neither here nor there, I'm afraid. Marjorie won't have it, as long as she fails to see the wisdom of my perspective. Indeed. How may I be of service, sir? Looking to elevate his social status, is he? I'll admit, I could see benefits to living under his rule, certain transgressions he'd be willing to overlook. But that's neither here nor there, I'm afraid. Marjorie won't have it, as long as she fails to see the wisdom of my perspective. Indeed, let's. Indeed.
Welcome to the Ultralux. I do hope it exceeds your every expectation. This again? I thought this was all settled. I answered every one of that investigator's questions to his satisfaction and gave all the help I could. I know our reputation hasn't always been spotless, but that's all in the past now. How some people can't get over it is beyond me. For the last time, the White Glove Society has never and will never consume human flesh for any reason. It's written in the charter. There was an investigator who came through here last week. He'd been hired by a young man whose bride-to-be went missing during their stay here. Well, you can already guess what probably happened, can't you? It seems perfectly likely that she got cold feet and ran off. And that young groom just didn't have a clue, the poor dear. A man? Well, then this can't be. 2 disappearances in my hotel? What will people say? I'm going to have a word with my staff about security on the premises. Whether these people are found or not, our guests simply must feel safe in their own rooms. Now, didn't I already tell you that we don't do that sort of thing? We do not engage in cannibalism here under any circumstances. Though we haven't always been the White Glove Society. There was another time, a dark time, when we went by a different name. But that's all changed now. We've evolved past such base impulses since settling into our new home. I've seen to it that those days are behind us. You disgust me. How dare you say such a filthy thing in my establishment? I ought to have you arrested. You'll kindly mind your tongue, or we shan't speak any further. Tell your ruler we have no interest in such ties. Caesar's Legion is a collection of unclean barbarians. Any time the White Glove Society is mentioned in the same breath, it sullies our good name. As much as Mortimer and some of the other members have tried to convince me otherwise, I will not have us seen as savages. I do, but one can hardly call it work. I think of myself as a caretaker rather than a common laborer. I suppose it is a labor of love if it can be called labor at all. We at the White Glove Society are all responsible for maintaining the beauty and class of the Ultra-Luxe. And as its founder, I suppose it falls to me to decide how we go about it. Why, yes, I think so, if he hasn't checked out yet, that is. I had our maitre d' Mortimer offer him a complimentary room for as long as it took for him to be satisfied. You see, the White Glove Society remains the very picture of courtesy, even in the face of such impolite accusations. We have nothing to hide here. Ta-ta.
Sounds like Mr. House is in some kind of trouble.
How may I be of service, sir? Private investigator. Ah, yes, I remember the gentleman. This was about the missing bride. Such an awful thing. I do hope he finds her whereabouts. If I might pry, have you found something that will help his investigation? Good. I hope that young man gets some closure after all he's been through. Now, ordinarily, we don't give out guest information, but I think given the circumstances, he'll want to speak with you. Let's see. He hasn't checked out yet. If you head back to the hotel rooms, his will be one floor directly above you after you exit the lobby. I hope we can put this whole matter to rest at last. Looking to elevate his social status, is he? I'll admit, I could see benefits to living under his rule. Certain transgressions he'd be willing to overlook. But that's neither here nor there, I'm afraid. Marjorie won't have it, as long as she fails to see the wisdom of my perspective. Indeed. How may I be of service, sir? The White Glove, where we always... Not everyone can... But surely... If you head back to... Indeed.
Bitter Springs. A name like that could have only brought bad luck.
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. Awe.
Awe, true to Caesar.
All right.
Some of the slaves have been spreading...
Have you been successful in your efforts to recruit the White Glove Society? Even with the White Glove Society to deal with, you have questions? Linnaeus is the greatest of my battlefield commanders. Some might call him a great man, but I'm not sure he qualifies. Once, he was the greatest warrior of the Hydebarks, a tribe of the Arizona. Maniacal in battle. Sometimes he'd ambush Legion patrols by himself. When after several months we found and surrounded the Hydebarks camp, their chieftain raised a banner of surrender. The warrior, who was not yet Linnaeus, went insane with rage. He struck down his chieftain and attacked his own tribe. He killed 15 before they brought him down. He didn't die, obviously. I had him tended to. He was maimed, most of his face torn off. It was days before he regained consciousness. When he did, I went to his bedside and showed him the helmet I'd had forged to cover his face. I said he could have it if he'd fight for me. He accepted, on condition that he be allowed to kill the surviving males of his tribe. I said, make it the adult males, and you have a deal. Linnaeus is savage. Savagely loyal, too, but only to me. He has no love for my legion. But this has its uses. He has no attachment to his men, no compunction about battlefield losses. All he cares about is destroying the enemy. When another legatus or a centurion fails to achieve results, I send Linnaeus to make things right. His first step is to beat the failed commander to death in front of his assembled troops. Then he orders the ritual of decimatio. It means decimation, but in ancient Rome the word had a very specific meaning, a punishment for cowardice. The legionaries are lined up in ranks. Every 10th man steps forward and is beaten to death by his brothers. It instills a certain robust obedience. Yes, this time my legionaries will be more frightened of the commander behind them than the enemy before them. There will be no failure this time, no retreat, no years of gathering slaves and resources for another assault. With Linnaeus to drive the legion forward, the dam will be taken. It will be our bridgehead across the Colorado. It's not going to happen again. That's all I have to say about it. And I've heard it's a bad idea to tempt the wrath of Caesar. Change the subject. What else did you want to know? I know he's dead. I know he's no longer a factor. That's all I need to know. Losers don't matter in the history books. He's a fucking footnote. What else did you want to know? I've analyzed the region's tribe to determine how they might be useful. I may tell you more at a later time, if it suits me. What else did you want to know? I used Imperial Rome as the model for my legion precisely because it was so foreign, so alien. I'd seen what had become of the NCR's attempts to emulate the culture of pre-war America, the infighting, the corruption. Rome was a highly militarized autocracy that effectively integrated the foreign cultures it conquered. It dedicated its citizens to something higher than themselves, to the idea of Rome itself. In Rome, I found a template for a society equal to the challenges of the post-apocalyptic world, a society that could and would survive, a society that could prevent mankind from fracturing and destroying itself in this new world by establishing a new Pax Romana. It means a nationalist, imperialist, totalitarian, homogenous culture that obliterates the identity of every group it conquers. Long-term stability at all cost. The individual has no value beyond his utility to the state, whether as an instrument of war or production. No, I'll destroy it because it's inevitable that it be destroyed. It's Hegelian dialectics, not personal animosity. How do I put this basically enough? It's a philosophical theory, the kind you might encounter if you took time to read some books. The fundamental premise is to envision history as a sequence of dialectical conflicts. Each dialectic begins with a proposition, a thesis, which inherently contains or creates its opposite, an antithesis. Thesis and antithesis. The conflict is inevitable, but the resolution of the conflict yields something new, a synthesis, eliminating the flaws in each, leaving behind common elements and ideas. The bombs wiped the slate clean. Human civilization descended to a level of ignorance that effectively set our cultural progress back to zero. The NCR has all the problems of the ancient Roman Republic: extreme bureaucracy, corruption, extensive senatorial infighting. Just as with the ancient Republic, it is natural that a military force should conquer and transform the NCR into a military dictatorship. Thesis and antithesis. The Colorado River is my Rubicon. The NCR Council will be eradicated, but the new synthesis will change the Legion as well. From a basically nomadic army to a standing military force that protects its citizens and the power of its dictator. What else did you want to know? There were tales once of a cannibal tribe near Vegas, one that hid itself in a cavern far below ground, hunting men as prey above. The scouts I occasionally sent west many years ago reported these tales, but never had contact. Well, except the ones who went missing, perhaps. There are rumors that the White Gloves might be this lost tribe. Maybe you can help them find themselves. Culture is an odd thing. Sometimes a tribe grows tired of its identity, grabs for an opportunity to reimagine itself. The tribe becomes its own antithesis. Everything flips to the opposite polarity. Dialectics tells us that this can't last. There has to be a synthesis, the final sorting out. What else did you want to know? It's called an autodoc. As the name suggests, it's an automated physician, more or less. He can treat broken bones, cuts, punctures, scrapes. Sometimes I bestow its use upon someone I favor. Makes for a powerful gift in a culture that forbids painkillers and is largely ignorant of medical science. What else did you want to know? Ironically, I was born a profligate myself, a citizen of the NCR. My family lived not far from the Great Boneyard. After raiders killed my father, my mother sought the followers' protection. I was 2 years old. She found work at their library, cooking and cleaning. I learned how to read, and soon I was taking courses, free of charge. Oh yes, raised in that tradition. And the teaching stuck. I was taught it was my responsibility to bring the torch of knowledge to the waste. I may have taken the torch part more literally than they intended. When I was 20, the followers sent me east to Grand Canyon. It was my first expedition. Just me and a physician named Calhoun. As an anthropologist and linguist, my assignment was to learn the dialects of the Grand Canyon tribes. What a fucking waste of time. If you think it's worthwhile to make smart people learn how to talk like backward savages, you're a follower of the apocalypse, or an idiot. Anyway, we met up with a Mormon missionary who already knew a bunch of dialects, Joshua Graham. He was supposed to teach me, but before that went too far, the Blackfoot tribe captured us to hold us for ransom. They were a backward bunch, but the real problem was they didn't know how to fight. The Blackfoot were at war with 7 other tribes, each just as pissant as they were. But outnumbered like that, they weren't going to last long. It's one thing to be taken hostage, another to be lashed to a sinking ship. So over Calhoun's objections, I decided to take certain steps. I taught them how to use the guns they already had, how to strip and clean them, how to breathe when pulling a trigger, how to reload ammunition. They looked at me like I was some kind of a sorcerer. So I taught them how to make explosives and started drilling them on small unit tactics. If there's anything I learned as a follower of the apocalypse, It's that there's a lot of good information in old books. Divide et impera, divide and conquer. I led the Blackfoot against the Ridgers, their weakest enemy. When they refused to surrender, I ordered every man, woman, and child killed. When next we surrounded the Kaibabs, and they likewise refused, I took one of their envoys to the Ridgers' village and showed him the corpse piles. This was new for the tribes, you see. They played at war, raiding each other, a little rape and pillage here, a little ransoming there. I showed them total warfare. Like I said, there's a lot you can learn from old books. Kaibabs joined me, and the Fredonians after that. All the pissant tribes with names that should be forgotten. I knew from the start I'd need to eradicate this plague of tribal identities, replacing them with a monolithic culture, a uniform identity. So that's what I did, once my confederation of tribes was large enough. I crowned myself Caesar and created a single great tribe, my legion. I sent Calhoun, the follower captured with me, back west with a message that I should not be interfered with. Joshua Graham, the Mormon interpreter, stayed with me and served as my first legatus. That's right. Decades of warfare, absorbing lesser tribes, gathering power, forging the dross into a vast, razor-sharp scythe. My legion's expansion has never ceased. Much of the Utah and Colorado and all of Arizona and New Mexico are mine. We have cities of our own, but nothing compared to Vegas. Finally, my legion will have its Rome. What else did you want to know? Do you want my opinion as a former citizen or future conqueror? Actually, my opinion's the same either way. As a young man, I was taught to venerate President Tandy of Shady Sands, the founding mother of the new California Republic. Did you know her presidency lasted 52 years? And that her father, Aradesh, was the Republic's first president? Does that sound like a democracy to you? Or a hereditary dictatorship? Because the council didn't dare oppose her. She was too popular. She had the people's love. So things ran smoothly, more or less. And as soon as she was gone, as soon as there really could be democracy, what happened then? Ever since losing its queen, the NCR has been weaker, more diffuse. Democracy has been its weakness, not its strength. Greed runs rampant. The government is corrupt, accepting bribes from Brahmin barons and landowners to the detriment of citizens. The NCR is a loose conglomerate of individuals looking out for themselves. It's lost virtue. No one cares about the collective, the greater good. It's not built to last. I'm just hastening the inevitable. Of course, the most powerful my legion has faced. Also the first to which I am ideologically opposed. Until now, every tribe I've conquered has been so backwards and stunted, enslavement has been a gift bestowed upon them. My conquest of the Mojave will be a glorious triumph, marking the transition of the Legion from a basically nomadic tribe to a genuine empire. Just as my namesake campaigned in Gaul before he crossed the Rubicon, so have I campaigned and will cross the Colorado. What else did you want to know? What else did you want to know? What else then? Then get to it.
Stories about the burned man again.
Some of them.
Let's hit the road.
Move along.
Sure, later.
Beg your pardon, but could I trouble you to turn over your weapons? My deepest apologies for the slightest inconvenience. You have my assurance that everything will be returned upon your departure. But we simply can't have anyone waving their weapons around in the hotel. It's not the atmosphere we wish to cultivate. Please, enjoy your stay. Adieu.
Someone finally put down that sick motor runner son of a bitch. Good riddance.
Bad guys won't see us coming.
How do you do?
You look positively famished. We simply can't have that. You won't find better. Thanks. Farewell.
You, what do you think you're doing? First he's too trusting, now he doesn't trust any of us. It addles the senses. I suppose caution is the desirable course at this point. It's all of our necks if something goes afoul.
Why are you standing still? Do you think the world waits for you while you stand there drooling? Get back out there and get to work. Oh, really? So despite your filthy face and your vacant expression and your complete lack of human dignity, you're telling me you're not a server? What kind of harebrained fucking psychobabble bullshit is that? I yell at people because I like yelling at people, and because they fucking deserve it, not because Mumsy and Daddykins didn't hug me enough. Oh, I see how it is. You think because my father walked out on us when I was 5, now I have to yell at people. Or because my mother was a deranged chem fiend who regularly brought strange men home who told me to call them uncle. Or because my sisters would lock me in a shipping crate when they didn't want me around. And my brother... God, I'd forgotten about that. How could they do that to me? I can't stay here. I need to be alone. Forget about the fucking banquet. You know what? You can do it. You be the star chef. Take my recipes. It won't fill the hole, though. Just remember that. You'll always feel empty. Leave me alone. Haven't you done enough? Well, what do you want? I'm very busy here. No! It'll ruin my ingredients!
Have you seen that tower on the strip all lit up? You can see it from my daddy's gonna kill all you bastards once he finds out what you done to me. The hell you will. Had enough?
Time to make some new friends. Music to my ears.
Had enough? Come on. Had enough? You like that?
Gonna lose a limb if I don't get some meds. Serving up some hurt. You like that?
You like that?
On my last legs here.
Come on! You like that? You like that? You...
Who's there? Come on! Come on! Ah!
Let's paint this place red.
You like that? What? Now?
Dance. Let's deal. All this traveling's making me thirsty. Someone's looking to catch their chips early. Time for some get even. Think they ran?
Hello. Have you been in the steam room yet? It's just off to the side there. You can feel your aches just melt away.
Have you been in the steam room yet? It's just off to the side there. You can feel your aches just melt away. Hello. The fiends are running for their lives.
Aha!
Let's paint this toast red.
You're just in time for your ass whipping. You're just in time for your ass whipping.
Watch out!
You watch yourself around, Mr. Gunderson.
Tell me good news. Confound it. I knew I should have stayed with him. Ted, I'm so sorry, boy. I demand to know who did this. Well, that does it. None of them maniacs will ever do business with Head Gunderson long as they live. Hell, I'll put me together a damn blockade. Hit 'em where it hurts. They control the food? Well, there ain't gonna be no food. Not for anybody in this whole damn town. It's a goddamn monument to inhumanity. Let 'em starve. Biggest favor anyone's ever done this hellhole. I don't like this place. Whole strip, really. Ever since I got here, the stink of it It's flooded my nostrils. But you got a point. They're already hell-bent on depravity here. All I'd be doing is helping them along. All right. Well, I promised you I'd make it worth your while. So here you are. Try not to lose it all at the same casino. Watch out!
I've got one.
Let's deal. Let's see what you got.
I'm hit.
You like that?
It seems that the territories are about to blow up.
Let's deal. Let's see what you got. Let's deal. Let's distribute the weight.
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. I'll wait.
Our way, true to Caesar.
Our way, true to Caesar.
I'll hold up here. Don't...
Have you been successful in your efforts to recruit the White Glove Society? They'll be of no use to my Legion, then. You squandered a potentially valuable resource. Do better with your next assignment, or there will be trouble. I want you to destroy the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. It's not a full-strength chapter, mind you. The profligates... Huh? Yeah. 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 The Brotherhood. Them. I don't know. There have been a couple. Don't, but just leave it alone. I'm fine. Now, what was I saying? Right. Look for the Brotherhood's bunker around, Hidden Valley. My scouts saw some things. I'm going to bed. We'll talk later.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the Burned Man again.
Let's roll out then. Mojave's almost buzzing like a cazador now. Must be all the Blood Legion and NCR spilling over the Colorado. Ask them then. If you're sure, your loss. Back to the Gilded Cage.
Ugh, worrying this is not going to be good to me.
What's up? Let's go make trouble. You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Obituaries of the recently deceased Mr. House, President, CEO, and sole proprietor of the Vegas Strip, are still available. Just ask and enjoy your time in Vegas.
The Securitrons at the fort are on standby. I see a status log here confirming that the Mark II OS upgrade installed correctly. They'll be all set to go once we boost my transmitting power and bring them online with the network. But we'll worry about that later. Please, go on. Whatever you say. That's 3 down, 2 to go. Some of Mr. House's data said that he'd lost a bunch of Securitron scouts near Hidden Valley. Telemetry showed that they'd been attacked with energy weapons. House was pretty sure it was the Brotherhood. There must be a bunch of them holed up there. Not a good place for a robot to visit. They go around in big suits of power armor, and they have lots of energy weapons. But there's a downside. They just have a thing about technology. They think it should all be theirs. If someone else has it, they get mad. All I'm saying is, not much of a chance they'll accept a Vegas that polices itself with robots. No rush. Take your time. Anything else I can help with? Whatever you say. Hope to see you soon.
Aw, just when...
outsider. Hello. Hello, outsider.
We gave you a password, Veronica. It's for your safety.
See you around. 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 See you around.